the game, cause see the boxing voice.
ThaBoxingvoice.com, live with world-renowned trainer Dan Birmingham, the trainer of one-time Keith Thurman, and you are involved in what is being called the best or the biggest fight this year. Just tell me, what was your thoughts when this was first put together?
My thoughts were we're going to have to fight our friends. I know Kenny and Shawn very well. They've come to my gym a couple of years ago, spent a month and a half with us, got to know them very well, got great work, and now this fight is a fight. You're going to fight your buddy down the street. I mean, sometimes friends have to fight, and the best man will win.
Now, Dan, I hate to be the guy that spreads the rumors, but there's been a lot made of that time spent with Keith Thurman in that camp. There's been rumors as to who got the better of who in sparring and who can release what tapes. And it feels to me, because I'm obviously very close with Ken, we talk to him regularly every Sunday, that he feels he had the better hand of Keith Thurman, or his team had the better hand. What would you say? I mean, obviously you had to have been there.
Well, of course Kenny's going to say that. But for me, it went back and forth. It was competitive. It went back and forth. One day Keith would do well. The next day Shawn would do well. You know, they were like two bulls in a ring trying to control each other. And we're looking forward to a great fight.
Now, he says that's why Keith didn't sign. That's why it took this long, because you guys know. You know what took place in sparring. You know what type of animal Porter is. You know the aggression or the pressure that he brings, and that's not what Keith wants. Keith likes to fight on the back foot. He's a counterpuncher. You've seen what Collazo did. I mean, we've heard it all up until this point because the buildup has taken so long to get here. You know, what have you heard and how have you received that?
I haven't really heard that much until now.
Oh, wow.
But, you know, it's going to be a hard, tough fight for both guys. I mean, they're not the kind of guys to stick the jab and run. They're going to bump heads. They're going to bang bodies. You know, they're going to tie up. It's going to be a toe-to-toe slugfest. I can't wait.
Now, would you say that you have the fighter with more artillery, you know, the better arsenal? Do you think that comparing the two, what do you say he has the advantage over Shawn Porter? Keith Thurman is, that is.
Number one, he's the champion. And whenever a champion puts on the belt, automatically they become a better fighter. I've seen it in Winky, I've seen it in Jeff, I've seen it in Chad Dawson, I've seen it in a lot of fighters. And it's the same thing with Keith. Once he got the belt, it's like his skills were elevated. He took the game a lot more serious. He trained even harder, if that's possible. And it just happens when you become a champion.
Now, I mean, we've heard everything about the car accident, you know, the postponements. Where is Keith at mentally and both physically? We remember he was on, I think he did a live PBC stream to announce that he was okay and that he was going to be fighting Shawn Porter. People were saying he was a bit heavy there. He's been taking a lot of time off. Where is he physically and mentally for this fight?
Well, first of all fighters get heavy when they're off. They all like to eat. And Keith is no different. But, you know, the weight's going to come off and he'll be fine. Getting back to Kenny and everything, I mean, we go way back. They did a lot of rounds together. Shawn has a lot of skills. I mean, he was a top amateur, just like Keith. And the top amateurs always usually become great professionals. There's no difference between these guys. So we're expecting a real tough fight, but we're prepared for it. We're going to be 100%, I guarantee it.
Your insight, I mean, you're obviously involved, but what do you think was the snag in the negotiations? Why did it take this long? Why didn't this happen December 12th in Texas, I believe, was one of the said locations?
I really don't know what went on in the negotiations. I mean, Al Heyman handles all that, and all he does is call me and tell me you're going to fight this guy on this date, and we say okay, and we get ready, and we go. It's real simple.
Well, if you had, my final question, I know you're busy, if you had to paint Keith's career, actually no, let's bring it back. There is something that Ken made interesting, which I found odd, and I continue to say that could have been the holdup in the negotiations. Have you heard anything about this rematch, that he wanted to do it 2 times? Ken kept saying, he's 1 time, let's do it 2 times. Was that the holdup? Maybe that he wanted to do a fight, he wanted to sign to fight you guys, but only if it was a two fights.
I mean, I see his point. Because when he loses, you know, he's going to want a rematch, you know, as would we. So why not make double the money? I see his point.
Okay, well, Dan, thank you so much, and we wish you the best.
You're welcome.
All
Thank
right.
you.
No other sight in the game could see the boxing